Stop playing around. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned in to the best blog on YouTube. How many bloggers or vloggers do you know that will dance before their blogs? Not too many people. But this guy does, because this guy doesn't give a shit. Just saying. But anyway, welcome to Big Mike's blog. I am your host, Big Mike, coming to you from my home. Hope you guys are having a great evening. I'm doing great. Just cooking some food right now. Actually, it's finished. It's almost done cooking. So figured while my food's cooking and heating up in the oven, figured I'd do a blog for y'all. Because I've been hitting you guys with, like, I did 2 blogs a couple days ago, just back to back. So I figured I'd keep the momentum going. Now this blog, actually, I got to give you all a little bit of a backstory. I have to apologize because my iPad was not behaving correctly. Okay, so I had actually did this blog like a few weeks ago. I tried to post it. For whatever reason, it wasn't allowing me to post on YouTube, so I wasn't able to get it to you guys for you to see it. So I'm redoing it, okay? So this blog basically, actually, I should have done actually last year because my friend had actually sent me an article about this article on dating. The article was written by this man by the name of James Michael Sama. And what I'll do is I'll post the link of the article on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out the article that I'm basing this blog on, feel free to read it and let me know what you think of it. So basically, the article is called "Dating Decline: Why Nobody Knows What the Hell They're Doing Anymore." So basically, what he's talking about is he's talking about dating in the millennium now, like that people basically don't know what the hell they're doing. And basically, she wanted me to do a blog on it and give my opinion on whether I think a lot of the stuff that he said in the article is true, or he's basically blowing smoke up everyone's ass and he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I read the article. I actually really liked the article. Thought it was a really well written article. There was some stuff that he said in it that I liked. There's a few things I wouldn't say I've totally disagreed with, but I just, again, I looked at it from a different perspective. So I'm not going to go through every single point with you guys because that's going to take way too long and I don't want to bore you to death. But however, this will probably more than likely be a 2-part blog because I don't want to rush this blog because it's fairly heavy and there's a few things I want to talk about in it as well. So I don't feel it's fair to let's try to plow through it just to get it through 15 minutes. So it might be a 2-parter just to give you guys the heads up. Okay, so getting started. There's a few parts in the article I'm going to read and give you my take on it. So basically, the first paragraph goes like this. He's basically saying, here we are in the 21st century. Gen Xers, millennials, Gen whatevers are having a hard enough time as it is navigating massive student loans, high rent, and a difficult job market, which is true because I work in the job and I work as a recruiter counselor, so I would know this. To add the icing on the cake, they are floundering through the dating world / hookup culture and quickly discovering that no one knows what the hell they're doing. Which is fairly true. Okay. He goes on to say that that's probably because there's no structure, there is no methodology, there's no progress course of events, and many times there are really no role models out there leading by example to even know what to do. That's fair. Fair enough. Essentially, it's like a ship without a destination, maybe hoping to bump into another one every once in a while to ask how to port, but everyone's navigation seems to be broken. So basically, he's talking about the fact that people just don't know where it leads. They're just kind of going with the motions and going with the flow. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about my opinion more on this 4th point actually he mentioned. So he basically says, I think a big part of this is the fact that many people, particularly younger men and women, have completely lost sight of what dating actually means. Then again, they didn't actually lose sight of it because they never knew what it was they never knew it in the first place. Many members of the more recent generations have grown up hanging out with each other and calling it a relationship. Now, again, I do agree with this point. I feel like the younger generation have lost sight of it to some degree. I think partly in large part, I think people have lost because I think too people don't want to feel tied down and bogged down in a so-called relationship. I think people want to have the options and choices to do what they want. Like for example, I was talking with a girl last year, and she doesn't believe in being monogamous. You know, and she's younger. She's like 21, 22 years old. And she doesn't believe in being in a monogamous relationship. She doesn't like feeling tied down in those one like having a boyfriend and a girlfriend. She doesn't believe in that. So, you know, again, different strokes for different folks. You know, it's not whatever, you know, whatever works for her works for her. Some people don't work like that. For me, if I wanted to date a woman, I'd rather be with that one woman. I don't want to be with her and then 5 other guys she's been sleeping with, or whatever the case may be. But then again, that's just me. So he goes on to talk about, I won't read everything. Basically, he's talking about how going to a movie is not a good idea in terms of going to see a movie in a theater, which is true. You know, going on a first date, I would say it's not the best first date idea. I'd probably say like a movie date is probably like a fourth or fifth date, not the first, because you're not going to be able to talk or get to know each other in the theater if you're going to go on a movie. So that's why I would say a movie is a little bit more difficult. And then now there's the whole Netflix and chill phenomenon that I just found out about like 6 months ago, because I didn't know that was a thing. And because I remember I was talking to this one girl, and you know, because I've invited girls to my house before, and we've not, you know, we've watched Netflix. One girl came on my house and she played Grand Theft Auto 5 for like 3 hours, and we just chatted and we didn't do anything. And I didn't make out, didn't cuddle, didn't do anything, and it was cool. Like, it was actually, I didn't mind. So I remember I'd asked this one, I had suggested this one girl to come by and, you know, we could watch a movie and just chill. And she lost her mind. She was like, "Oh, what are you trying to say? You're trying to sleep with me now?" And I'm like, "Whoa, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just saying come by and watch a movie." And she's like, "No, you're going to sleep with me." And I'm still not, in my mind, I would think I'm dumb because I don't understand what she's talking about. And then finally she's like, "Well, you know, nowadays when guys say they want to do Netflix, like watch a TV, like go to like, sorry, when a guy says he wants to come, when a guy wants you to come over, that means he wants to sleep with you, you know, Netflix and chill or whatever." And I was like, "The hell is she talking about?" Now Netflix and chill is like it's like a phenomenon now. It's taken over. Now I'm gonna make this very crystal clear, and I don't give a damn whether any of you women believe me or not. When I say Netflix and chill, I mean Netflix and chill, because if we're watching a movie that I've not seen, I'm gonna watch that movie. I don't want to sleep with you, and then I can't do both. Okay, so if you're gonna come by and we'll have sex, then so be it. But we can't. If I'm saying I want to watch Netflix because there's a movie that I really want to watch, I can't do that and have sex with you. Can't do both. Okay, so I'm gonna make that clear. So when I say Netflix and chill, I legitimately mean Netflix and chill. So whether y'all believe that or not, that's too damn bad. But so he talks about that, and then he talks about also that dating is not random, a last minute invitation. You're trying to get to know someone. It doesn't have to be this extravagant big thing. It could just be something simple as just, you know, a series of events just to show that you want to get to know the person. And I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I feel that some women, not some, I mean, I feel that with dating, people put so much pressure on it. And like I said last year, that they want to go all out and do all this extravagant stuff. And I was guilty of this too. Like, I spent, like, on first dates, I would do all this extravagant crap. And it wasn't, and then when I look back, I'm like, I spent like damn near what? I spent like $100 on a first date for what? And me and the girl was literally a first date and the only date because she didn't want to talk to me no more. And I'm sitting there spending all this money when I could just do something as simple as going out for coffee and taking a walk, or going to do an activity together. You know, just something like that where you can get to know the person. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we've lost sight of that to some degree, you know, in terms of getting to know someone. And then he also talks about the social media and people not being comfortable around each other and things like that, and not like conversating and things like that. And I mean, that social media has played a part in that, you know. But I mean, in fairness to me, I'm going to divert from this and talk about my own personal quote unquote struggles or whatever. I mean, I remember back in the day, like, I would never go and pick up a girl like on the bus or at the mall or anything, because I had very low self-esteem, so I was too shy to go pick up a girl in the first place. And even now, to some degree, I am shy. But then again, half the time when you're on the streetcar, subway, bus, wherever, what do you think, what is the one thing that people are doing when you see them on the bus or any type of transportation? They're on their damn phone, looking at their phone. So I'm not going to go pick up a girl when she has her headphones on with her resting bitch face and then try to say, "Hey, how are you doing today?" She'll look at me like I'm on crack. So to some degree too, that's why I don't pick up girls, and that's why to some degree guys don't bother picking up women anymore. Because what's the point? Half the time girls have a miserable face and they don't want to be talked to. So why am I gonna now go pick up talk to you out in the public? Doesn't make sense. You know. So I think, and then now it's like I said, and that was back then. And plus, girls used to do like the whole giving fake numbers and all that crazy crap. And I said this, and I stand by this. If a girl ever gave me a fake number, I would want to literally roundhouse her in the face, because just don't give me a fake number. Like, my thing is this: if you don't want to give me your number, that's totally cool. Don't come up with like the 2-for-1, like the pizza telephone number, and then give me that as your telephone number. Please don't do that. I just feel like you're insulting my intelligence and you're wasting my time. And that's one of the reasons why I just got soured, because guys will tell me stories about that shit. And guys will tell me how, like, like this one girl told me, like, she legitimately gave a guy a fake number, and the guy basically checked her and told her, hey, so if I call this number right now, is it going to ring? So then she had to give him a real number. You see what I'm saying? All that effort and energy for nothing. So, things like that. It's gotten harder, I guess, to pick up people and talk to you. And then again, now you're going on dating sites, and those are like a train wreck, because there's options. I think the biggest problem, if there is a problem with dating nowadays, is that there's options. To me, gone are the days where, like, you'll meet someone, you like them, they like you. Even if, let's say, you have a few bumps in the road, you still want to see where things will go and lead. And I'm not saying that that part of dating has died or disappeared. That still exists. But, however, I feel like nowadays, whether it be on the men's side or women's side, people nowadays aren't willing to build something with someone. They want something like that. We live in a microwave society nowadays. We want everything quick, fast, everything. Technology, success, wealth, happiness, we want all that now. We don't want to wait and build something. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not worth it, even if it's not even a little bit worth it, we're not going to waste our time. Even if, let's say, we make a mistake, people don't want to own up to mistakes. Like for example, like there's girls who, and I'll be candid, where I probably didn't act the best with them, and they called me out on it. And I said, you know what, you're right. I did fuck up. And I wasn't the best to you, and I didn't, but the amount of girls who've played me and dicked me around and did all that shit, they'll just stop talking to me. Rather than us talk it out and figure out what went wrong and try to fix it. They don't do that. They'll just quick to just blow me off and not talk to me anymore, because that's easier nowadays. Because again, there's options. Like you can go out on it, like a girl, for example, can go out on a date with me tonight, and then let's say have fun. Let's meet up again in a couple days. Sure. Meet up, let's say, on Thursday. Okay, next week. We meet up again on Monday. And then she could go out again with another guy, and that guy maybe, and let's say me and her have, let's say, 4 things in common. But then she goes out with this other guy, that guy and her have like 6 things in common. She'll be more inclined to go out with that other guy again, just because she just vibes with him more. And whether that's right or wrong, whether I like it or not, that's just the way dating is nowadays. People want to, and again, that's in fairness, people want to be with someone that they connect with fully. I think the problem is, and the way I see it, is that no relationship that you're in with someone is going to just fit like a glove right away. There's still the feeling out period. There's still moments where, because again, you're 2 different individuals. You're not going to click completely. Okay? You're going to have your differences because you're different people. But I think the key is, as long as you have some commonalities that you're willing to build off of, I think that's important. And I think some people lose sight of that because they want the butterflies in the stomach and that spark and that's fine. But understand too that spark eventually fades. It does. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that the spark completely dies, but it fades a little. Now the key is going to be, okay, although we don't have this spark, is this someone I still want to build something with? Okay, so I'm running a little bit low on time here, but I'm going to continue with my thoughts in the next little bit, so stay tuned.